I'm delighted to welcome you all to today's Health Talk. In this session, Isha will be presenting on social networks, social support, and life expectancy in older adults, the cardiovascular health study. Our speaker Isha is a data analyst intern at Trenix. She is a final year literature student. At Trenix, her work primarily involves data research, collection, and data entry, along with project template creation. Besides, she proofreads blogs and disease descriptions as and when required. At Trenix, she has gained experience in not only data research but also team management, reorganization of information, and time management. So, without further ado, I would like to invite Isha to lead the session.
Thank you, Yogita, for the introduction. Hello, everyone. I'm Isha, and today I'll be presenting on the topic social network, social support, and life expectancy in older adults, the cardiovascular health study. This article was originally written by Roma Bhatia, and it comes under the topic longevity. It was taken from the journal titled Archives of Gerontology and Geriatrics, with an impact factor of 4, and it was published in the year 2023 with an impact on longevity and cardiovascular health study. So the study mainly revolves around two things. The first is longevity. So longevity, as we are well aware of, that it refers to not just the entire living duration of a human being, but also the healthy lifespan of that human being. So first is this, and the second aspect is the social connections. So social connections, the study delves into the deeper analysis of the social connection, the social relations an individual has, be it family, friends, acquaintances, neighbors, anyone. The study kind of links the impact of the social connections to the healthier well being of the individual, the reduced stress levels, a better overall healthy lifespan of that individual, which can contribute to his fulfilling life. Speaking of the general background, the social networks is the connections we have in our daily lives. The study says that it can impact and significantly shape our health and lifespan. And the most important thing is the size and frequency of the social network we have. Like it says that having fewer friends and having a smaller social network can can be linked to having a more stress level and resulting in the more visits to more hospital visits, which can ultimately lead to higher healthcare costs. And on the better side, it also says that having strong social connections and having a larger friend group or a social network can do wonders, because what it can do is that it can lower the stress level by acting as a support system to the individual, and it can also kind of lower the death risk and protect them from the disabilities. The present challenge in front of us was that no prior studies were there which have measured the absolute years of life which an individual has gained or lost due to the social networks. So that was still unclear. Also, it was not clear that if the strong social networks can influence the uh, disability duration, or whether this can act as a buffer, like if it can slow down the impact of disabilities, or it can act as a path which can smoother the road to recovery of that individual. So that thing was still unclear. The objective of the research, the main aim for the researchers was mainly to provide the concrete insights for the role of the social connections, which can shape the quality and quantity of individual, especially the elderly, and also to measure that how these social networks can directly affect the key health outcomes, and by assessing the years lived and the years lived without disability, free from disabilities. So speaking of the methodology, so what happened was, like for at the starting as a segment of the comprehensive health study. um, 5,749 adults who were aged 65 years and above were closely tracked, and their social networks were assessed using scores which can assess the social connections, like counting the number of friends or close family members who regularly check upon them. These kind of scores were measured, and the strength of the connection was tried to achieve to assess the level of support they receive. Then these scores were assessed for over a period of 2 years, starting from when they joined the study. And the estimation was done from the lifespan, which involved from when they have entered into the study until their passing away. Additionally, the researchers also measured the years which they have lived or which they have lived without facing any difficulty in their daily activities. I mean, the goal was initially to see how active their life is for a accurate score, and also to enhance these findings, the factors like age, gender, and health issues were also taken into account. So, as you can see from the table, after the scores were assessed, the social network score suggested that the average or the typical social network score is 32.3 with a standard deviation of 6.8 points, and the range indicates that the score could go as low as 2.5 to as high as 48.5. And the same happened with social support too. It had a score of 8.3 points with a standard deviation of 2.4. And this its range went as low as 6 and as high as 22.5. So this table suggested exactly suggested us that when the social network score increased by one standard deviation, the participants experienced a positive impact. What happened was that when it increased by one standard deviation, the adjusted life expectancy also increased by 0.40 years, 0.40 years, which comes down to kind of 4.8 months, and the disability free life expectancy increased by 0.35 years, which comes to 4.2 months. So this was a very significant thing which was discovered when the scores were assessed. So, during the study, the researchers also noticed a consistent pattern. They noticed that the stronger the social connections and social networks are of that individual, the longer they tended to live. And this theory held true even after considering health factors and education levels or socioeconomic statuses of those individuals. And additionally, also that the higher network assessments were associated with greater amount of time spent on the good health, which also suggested us that these social connections added not just to their life expectancy, but also a life which is free from disability. So that underscored a great significance in the significance of the social connections. Furthermore, the observations revealed that it revealed that the social network assessments with the individuals with higher scores enjoyed extended period of good health and lived without facing more disabilities with a better mental well-being. So that was a very significant thing which happened because mental well-being of those individuals mattered, and it significantly led to its reduced stress level. And these results also showed the key role of social connections in not only influencing life expectancy but the overall enhancement of the individual's life. So in conclusion, uh, it it was seen that In older adults, having stronger social networks was directly linked to longer life expectancy and more years lived without disabilities, with fewer disabilities, and it remained true in a linear dose response pattern. So, however, the researchers believe that figuring a way which is best for assessing this still needs further investigation and research in the future. Speaking of the impact of this research, since the research aimed at to provide concrete insights into the matter of social connections. So I think it well achieved it because it kind of told a lot about the importance of social connection and social networks in an individual's life. And it showed the variation based on the participants. And it was quite significant for mainly for those who were 75 years or above or older. And yeah, of course, there is always room for further research and exploration of new ideas and new discoveries. So yeah, let's see and in fact, work and look forward to a future which is better and more caring for the older individuals, for the elderly. So yeah, that is all from my side. Thanks, and you can find me at isha@renix.org. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Isha, for this detailed and informative talk. Now the audience can ask questions. I have one question. Are there any public health interventions suggested by this study to enhance the social support for older adults?
No, I don't think so because the researchers didn't speak about such a study. So,
Okay. We have next question from Vijay. Isn't real world connections more effective than social media? Where real world connections and interactions studied.
yeah, actually, in this one, the social networks didn't only mean the social media because the researchers clearly said that it majorly meant the offline people, the people we meet in our daily lives. So, online was a very little significant in this one. It was mainly focused on the offline connections we have. So, yeah, it was all.
Okay, we have next question from Nupur. Does this study consider both online and offline networking?
It considers mainly offline network. Online, since the term is social network and it is more associated with online, but the researchers cleared it out that it was mainly offline one.
Thank you so much, Isha, for answering those questions. I don't find any further question in the chat box. So we can wind up today's webinar. So thank you again, Isha, for answering all the questions and the informative talk. So as we conclude today's webinar, I extend my gratitude for the participation to all the participants. I hope you find this presentation to be informative. Thank you. Thank you so much.